Yeah.
$250 million right now.
For a real-life Snow White, where they changed the story and where the main actress is a total bitch. And all she does is talk about herself and thinks that she deserves all this and all that. And she tries to act woke when in reality she's just an attention.
All right, welcome back to the Cinemadix podcast. I'm your host, Nick.
I'm Ryan.
And today we're going to be talking about a few different things. We're going to start off with the new Adolescence series on Netflix. Then we're going to probably get into a little bit about the new Avatar movie. We heard a little bit about that. And then we also want to talk about the new Paul Thomas Anderson film featuring Leonardo DiCaprio. And then we also want to talk about Snow White and Disney's kind of downfall or kind of degradation with it.
We're in trouble now, for sure.
Yeah. And maybe get into a little bit of the Avengers Doomsday that's been hinted at recently.
Yeah.
But initially we want to start off with Netflix's limited series, Adolescence.
Yeah. I watched it last weekend. I watched the first 3 episodes just back to back to back. It's such a hooking show. There was so much online hate because everybody found this original story where the kid was he was African American, I guess, and that was just one of the 10 stories that they found on it, and they're like, oh well, it's not the same character. It's like, no, this is kind of just like a study of the whole generation. It's not just based off this one dude, and the show really makes a point that this can happen to anybody. It's not just one case that happened. This is what kids are going through today on social media and everything.
It really does. It is really it's pretty eye-opening. The first episode kind of introduces the story and the theme of what the series kind of gets into, and it's kind of taking place through the police station. And it kind of takes you through everyone else's points of views and kind of all the characters that are going to be introduced in the series. And then you kind of, again, learn the story and get to see what the kid did and why he was a suspect of murder. And, again, what he was going through and what people thought from the video footage that is kind of hinted at in the end. Episode 2 kind of gets into the policeman's point of view and the school. Some of the kids at school that are dealing with these similar issues, ones that were maybe involved and maybe weren't, ones that were just affected from the murder. Episode 3 is peak.
Episode 3 is one of the greatest things I've seen in such a long time.
Yeah.
We get probably 4 different reactions from this guy. And obviously it's a psychiatry episode. It's, the psychiatrist coming in and trying to understand a motive. And that's something they're going after the first 2 episodes, is they want to know. They pretty much know the answer. They just want to understand why it happened. And episode 3 is the clear picture of what this kid was going through.
Yeah, and what he still is going through. Like how he is and what mental state he's in.
Right.
And the kid actor, do you know his name?
I forget his name.
Starts
with a C.
Yeah, I'll throw it up right here. But he has one of the best performances I've seen out of a young actor in a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. The way that his freak out moments are perfect. And again, the thing that we forgot to say is the camera work.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing you'll find in this show.
Is absolutely phenomenal. I haven't seen something like this done probably since like 1917.
Yeah. 1917 and Birdman are the popular, examples of this one-shot tracking.
Yeah, and again, very hidden, disguised cuts where they could have, taken a break. But, I mean, it looks like it really was done all in one. And they do a phenomenal job. And how actors and characters are all introduced between the transitioning of the camera tracking a subject and then panning over, and then a subject walks in and then they follow him into the next room. Right. It's very well done.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily just follow the same person throughout. It will take place in the same exact setting. So it's not going to jump from school to police station or to home. wherever the beginning of the episode is, it's where it's going to end, or at least around where it's going to end.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things that I wrote in my review of it was the camera work was actually outstanding. It really was. It was extremely impressive, and I think that most of the general audience that has seen this is something that they had to have recognized.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It allows the story to keep progressing without hard cuts and without losing the audience in a way. Like
it's very gripping. I mean, even in the 4th episode, there's a specific scene in there where normally you'd be, when is this going to end, right? But the theme of the episode is maintaining a sense of normalcy, trying to get back into the real world. And it's like a 10-minute scene, but it's so good on the actors because you can see that their characters are really just trying to forget about everything. It's a very special day for that family, and they want to be able to celebrate that without thinking about the obvious. There is something in episode 4 that just kind of encapsulates everything about the show and about Jamie, the kid involved. It's the dad's birthday, and Jamie calls from prison.
So this is a spoiler, by the way.
Yeah, spoiler. Sorry, but if you haven't seen it, go watch it and come back. But Jamie calls from the prison to say he's going to change his plea, which I feel like the dad's the only one that's even seen what's happened, and the dad's kind of understanding that he's guilty.
Yeah.
But this is a final confession from Jamie. Something we didn't even get in the episode episode 3 where he actually confessed. Pretty much, he sort of does
right at the end, but he even admits he says out loud, he's like, I didn't do that. Like I didn't kill her, and that's why I was so sure. I was like, man, from the video that you see, the videotape that the police have from the original crime, you don't see a stabbing. You see an assault from both people, and then you all of a sudden kind of see him. It looks like he's kind of just beating this girl up.
Right.
And remember, the girl and the guy are 13 years old. They're in middle school, maybe early high school. It's primary school in Britain.
Yeah.
But again, they're at this age of middle teenager or beginning teenager where a lot of emotions are happening. Guys and girls start to date, sexual curiosity, and then where you're also advanced enough to be able to speak and insult people and understand what that kind of means, and you take it personally, and that's kind of what it's about, and how Jamie's kind of an incel, and he's kind of an introverted person that he might not be the most attractive in his own eyes or other people's, and he snaps in that way, and again, I don't mean to take it in a darker path, but it kind of has to do with modern school violence.
It's a very dark story, and the problem with it is so real. And I mean, I think it's something, parents should be showing their kids. Just if you want to see the dangers of something like social media, the hypnotization of it, this is a great show to watch then for them.
Yeah.
I think it really could help everybody understand just the extent someone can go to when they're getting bullied online, when they're getting bullied in school, when they're very... when they're struggling with their own identity, they don't know whether they're attractive or not based on people they're going to school with, and people that feel so much more comfortable talking shit online behind a keyboard or behind their phone, their little pocket computer. It goes everywhere with you.
It really is, and that's exactly right. Again, the police initially think that Jamie and the girl, the victim of the crime, they're friends. He thinks that they're friends based off of the interactions on Instagram. When later in the 2nd episode, the son of the main detective is able to explain to his father what the emojis mean and what she's actually saying to him, and other people agree with her, which can only be one of the worst feelings in the world.
Talk about getting bashed down, especially by people It's not just commenting on some random internet post. These are people you go to school with. These are people you see every day. and they just had the power to basically belittle you like that on an app, on their phone, you know? And I mean, that's the overarching message is like social media, whatever, it's the phone. It's the little smartphone pocket computer that you can have, and you can take it everywhere. You're not going to learn anything in school because you're texting everybody. You're on social media. You're on Instagram and TikTok. You're seeing, you know, the Kardashians, and even if you're a girl, like that's the expectation, right? And
it's
I'm not
insane.
pretty enough because I don't look like that.
Yeah,
you know? It's a dangerous force that it's unstoppable at this point. You know, it's something that we're never going to be able to really, I don't know, reform, but being aware and learning the dangers of it is something that everybody can do, especially the younger generation.
I know. I completely agree. It is. If you haven't seen it, you definitely should go check it out.
Yeah.
If you've made it this far and we did kind of spoil some of it for you, trust me, we didn't spoil the most of it. Like, you guys need to go check this out for yourself.
There's 4 hours worth of content in this show. Yeah. It's really good.
I do want to hear people's opinions on the final episode, especially again, like the way it does end. I felt some sort of closure, but I felt like maybe I wanted a 5th episode. Maybe I wanted a court case episode, like in the courthouse. I feel like that could be really powerful, seeing maybe a defense case and maybe seeing it through, some witness testimonies or something like that.
I definitely didn't expect the family to be the center of the final episode, you know?
I didn't either. Yeah.
Well, my expectations were just kind of taken away early on, too, because when I saw the poster for this show, I thought it was going to be like a paranormal, like this kid's possessed or something.
Okay.
But he's just got that Sigma grind set in him, you know? But it really throws you for a loop because, you know, in today's media, we expect the worst of the worst, right? Like, obviously, something sinister or paranormal made this kid do this, but no, it's the stuff everybody goes through on a daily basis.
Yeah, literally the kids at his own school made him feel this way and pushed him to that point. And his own friend kind of helped him with it.
His friend should be arrested definitely for accessory.
Yeah,
you know?
I think he was
detained,
at one point.
Yeah.
But again, they don't kind of get into that part with everything.
And it's like every episode just kind of leaves it there. The second episode doesn't exactly feed into the third episode. It's almost like an anthology, like it's something different every time. Obviously it's the same storyline, but if one episode ends, it's not going to be like, oh, the next episode picks off of that, you know? Like, I expected the fourth episode to be much more centered around Jamie.
Again,
this is the whole point of the show. But getting insight into the family, it's heartbreaking, you know? I mean, that's what makes it even more devastating is, you know, you never think you would see it from the family's perspective, just his perspective.
Yeah.
Right? If you're a parent, I'm sure that's something that's going to be very heavy for you in the final episode.
Especially if you have kids. And if you are a parent watching this, it's... Again, I think it's almost a message to parents in a way, and maybe a younger target audience as well. But be aware of your child's emotions, and if you're a younger kid watching this, be aware of your own emotions. And if you need to talk to somebody, talk to them. Like this, it is a very serious subject, and nobody should ever have to go through the things that this kid does. And they do on a daily basis.
It's a very real world situation. And that's the thing, like, there is not just one specific case of this. It's not based off of anything specific. It's a whole range of real world events. In the UK, in the United States, many countries, many different skin colors, many different parental habits, you know, like all of these things can feed into a child's, you know, distraught for the world. But social media propagates that. I mean, social media definitely keeps that pumping out, and content is everything. You know?
It really is.
But if you haven't seen it, definitely go watch it. I mean, it can't be that hard to find. It's right on Netflix. It's
probably the first thing that pops up.
It'll probably be the banner head of Netflix for a while.
Yeah,
you know, but
and it deserves it. It really does. It's an excellent series. I think I rated it a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. And again, Follow us on Letterboxd.
Letterboxd, yeah. Our reviews are on there too. We both had good reviews for it.
Yeah. So
to
transition, you want to talk about? Well, I want to talk about just a quick blurb about the new Avatar.
Yeah, we saw something today.
I heard apparently it's gonna be 6 hours long.
We'll see.
We'll see about that.
Social media.
But I wouldn't be surprised if this is, again, another 3 hour, maybe even 3.5 hour long.
I assume it'll be 3 hours for sure. I think James Cameron is having too much fun on Pandora that he just can't help it, but pump 3 hours worth of content into this thing.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm there for it. I'll probably see all the Avatar sequels. They have been very entertaining for me. I do not think they're the most overrated movies of all time. But, you know, it's going to get to a point where the hype has died. I mean, he has 5 sequels planned, I think, 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to go to like 6.
Yeah, and that depends, like, you know, if he can even fund those movies eventually. We'll have to see. I mean, Way of the Water was, one of the highest grossing movies. I think it's in the top 3. It might be the top 4. It might be the 4th.
Because he has Titanic, Avatar, Avatar 2, which are all $1 billion grossing movies.
I think I don't remember 2009. I think The Hurt Locker beat Avatar for Best Picture. So it's this very like anti money making scheme that Hollywood and the Academy has, and I think it was the same thing with Dune Part 2. Was Dune Part 2 already raked in $900 million. Well, it's already won. We don't need to give it another award. It made all the money. But there's a reason they make all the money. Most of the time, these are the general audience movies that everybody loves, not just your little cult of 100 voters that don't even see the movie.
Yeah. And again, if you haven't seen our Oscar episode, there is a little bit about that and our like kind of the scandalous behind the Oscars and what we think.
We got some predictions too in the episode before that. Yeah. So both those episodes I thought were really good, and we were right on the money with it.
Yeah, we were. But yeah, we'll see what James Cameron decides to do with Avatar. I haven't seen Sam Worthington in anything since other than maybe.
I'm surprised Zoe Saldana had time to do Amelia Perez, and she still won an Academy Award.
Yeah. Terrible movie.
Yeah,
but
God, I hate Amelia Perez.
But we'll see what ends up becoming of that, and we'll see if James Cameron can continue on that legacy.
He's got it going.
So what was next? Snow White?
Snow White.
In Disney.
Neither of us have seen Snow White. I want to see it next week, and there is a very specific reason I want to see it. I have absolutely no faith in it. I also did not have any faith in it a year ago when the writer's strike was going on. And I'm sure some of you are familiar with Rachel Zegler's comments during the strike. And, passions were high. She said some stupid things.
If you don't know, go
see it. But essentially, she said, I should be getting paid for every hour that this is streamed online. And that's like what's going on in video games, and people are thinking, Rockstar is going to charge people to play GTA 6 every hour,
And that, would be absurd.
You pay $70, you get thousands of hours worth of content. This is an hour and a half movie that is apparently really bad, and she has the audacity to say she should be getting paid for every hour it's streamed online. The math doesn't work there, I don't think, and you get money for the ticket. You get money from Disney for having it streaming. What more do you want from that? And she's still Gal Gadot, I hate her, made more money than Rachel Zegler by like $13 million or something like that. Rachel Zegler made $2 million off of Snow White. But this movie is such it's an interesting point in Disney's history too, because this movie has been getting hated on forever now. Like, again, last year when Rachel Zegler started making comments about it, it's been getting hated on for that. And then she went on to say, well, we're actually changing the story. We're making Snow White, but we're making it different now, because that was made in 1937, and it's 2024 now. So we're gonna we're going to make it a little less creepy. And, my initial thought to that is, well, then just don't make it, first of all. If it's already a creepy story...
In your eyes.
Apparently. In your eyes. And I'm like, yeah, this movie was made in 1937. There could be an argument that the prince walking in to kiss a comatose Disney princess is a little creepy. Well, then don't even try to touch it after that. Let it lie,
It's fantasy. It's for children. It's not about the act. Don't break it down that way. Yeah. You made it creepy in your own mind.
You're making it creepy by saying it's creepy. Yeah. It's like, if it is creepy, just don't do it. I mean, you guys are Disney. You guys are supposed to be the most innovative minds in the entertainment world. Just make another Disney princess. Make another thing that people can be, inspired by. Fit it with the modern times. If you don't like the Snow White story from the 1930s, then just don't touch it.
Yeah.
But if you think you're just going to make money off of this because it's an IP that everybody knows, and of course we'll sell tickets with Snow White, why change the story then? People want to see a live action remake from a Disney classic because they want to see the story again. They want to see it in a modern take. It could be animated, it could be live action, doesn't matter. They want to see the story done again. It's like a remastered version of a movie,
Probably would have done better.
It's supposed to be.
And probably would continue to do better if they just kept it animated. And they just would have done some voice acting with it. And again, just keep the story the same, but just make it better. Add more digital effects. Make it more naturally beautiful. You amplify it. Don't destroy the story.
Right.
And
don't change it, And that's what I hated with when the live action Lion King came out, because that is apparently a collectively hated movie. And I liked it because it was still kind of new in the Disney live action remake era, and they didn't change the story. They kept it the same exact Lion King that they did in '94, and I'm like, hell yeah! I got to see these two live looking lions fight in a fire on top of Pride Rock with Hans Zimmer in the background. That's awesome.
That's sick.
Yeah, and it does bring in a new generation to enjoy this story. And then they'll go back and watch the 94 version. Mm-hmm. I bet nobody wants to go see the original Snow White after the story they just got. It's also bombing in the box office.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit.
But it is the #1 movie in the world with $82 million or something like that. And it's the Lowell area. We're outside of the Disney or the holiday movies, and we're getting ready for the summer blockbusters to come up. But hey, Dune Part 2 came out March 1st of last year, the first day of March, and it made $900 million. There's no excuse. People will still go see a movie. If it's the lull period for movies, then you should make that one movie everybody's going to go see.
I agree.
And Disney said Snow White.
But
with Rachel Zegler and Gil. Yeah. It's it's such an interesting time for them, and I hope this is the one. Snow White's the one where they're we need to pivot. We need to go the other direction because clearly nobody likes this. Yeah. Even though for 5 years now, 5 straight years, nobody has liked these. It was set up to fail, And the whole controversy before, and obviously there's politics involved now because Gal Gadot is a very avid Israeli fighter, and Rachel Zegler is free Palestine, and Disney does not want that. They don't want the conflict.
That's not what Walt Disney wanted, man.
Well, Walt Disney was an anti-Semite in his own right, but Walt Disney wanted to innovate, and they're not doing that right now.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Transition from Snow White to end that. Nobody cares. Movie sucks. Don't see it. Don't give it your money. Disney,
not worth talking about.
Not worth talking about anymore. We're going to move on to Avengers Doomsday. Yeah. And some of the rumors we've heard about that. I'll let you kind of start with what you've heard.
There's been a lot of talk with Doomsday coming out. Obviously, we had the Doctor Doom reveal last year. RDJ coming back to fill the spot. And pros and cons to it, but they're all on set now. I think I heard they're supposed to be filming, to really start filming next week. So I think they've got a formula down. It's not going to take any time or effort really out of them. I think Robert Downey Jr. is going to have a blast playing Doctor Doom. There's a lot of fan service that I think is going out the window with that. And I mean, honestly, I would say too, a little bit of disrespect for RDJ. The guy's coming off of a historic year working with Mr. Nolan, or Sir Nolan, and winning an Academy Award for that, his first Academy Award. And then falling right back in line with the Marvel agenda. And I can't even imagine the paycheck he's gotten for Doomsday.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm glad actors, especially an actor like Robert Downey Jr., has the opportunity to go back and kind of fill into the shoes again. But I've heard the stories of like the plot and everything, and it's like it's the X-Men, it's what's left of the Avengers, it's the Fantastic Four, and the Wakandians all fighting Doctor Doom. So all fighting Robert Downey Jr. He's obviously going to be the focal point of the movie, in terms of like, he's got a MacGuffin or something, or he's got something he's going to use to destroy the world. And it's called Doomsday. And Marvel has not had the greatest time since Endgame. So this is trying to be their next phase for the Avengers. And it's just like, I would have waited until I saw the box office numbers for Captain America to be like, should we make the next movie? But they've got a plan. They're going through it. And it'll be interesting to see. We'll probably see it around the same time. Odyssey's coming out.
Yeah.
Denis Messiah is supposed to be coming out in that time. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a good year for the movie theater, 2026.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about Robert Downey Jr. being Doomsday. I just don't like how he goes from being Iron Man to being Doom to being Doctor Doom, or is that even...
It doesn't make sense. It's not canon at all. Dude.
Yeah, dude, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, and again, Marvel, it's like, God damn it. Like, figure it out. Like, we who's writing this? Who is producing this? Who's the guy saying, yeah, that's what we need to do? Because it's really hard to probably turn down a $25 million check.
Oh my gosh, yeah. For Robert Downey Jr. is going to take it too.
Yeah.
I thought this was post Iron Man, post Endgame. This was going to be Robert Downey Jr.'s time again to really start experimenting with roles. Get his animated self more into, like a diverse scheme of different acting abilities, and going back, like, this is taking up a significant amount of time for him. This is time that he could have to, go venture into other territories with different directors. I'm sure if Denis Villeneuve offered him a role for Doom Messiah, Robert Downey Jr. could take that, for sure.
Yeah, he'd be like,
but he's not going to. He's not going to be allowed or able to.
No.
With Doomsday, especially if he's playing a more, maybe not true, but a more significant role than Tony Stark and Iron Man did in the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the literal antagonist. The title of the movie is Doomsday, and the villain in the movie is Doctor Doom. Who's not going to be... It's not like it's Josh Brolin in a fucking CGI suit, dressing up as Thanos. It's Robert Downey Jr. there on set, not doing anything behind the scenes or in motion capture.
I just don't... I don't get it. Like, he's not the guy. He's not the guy for this role. And that's just me personally. I think they personally did that just so they could get a bigger audience to come and see this.
Oh, watch the reveal, dude. Yeah. It's so clear.
Yeah.
They have all the Doctor Dooms lined up, and the one Doctor Doom walks out, and we're like, oh, it's this big reveal of who's going to play the bad guy, and takes his mask off, and it's Robert Downey Jr., and he puts his arms up. They wouldn't do that if it was anybody else, dude.
No.
It would just be an Instagram post like, oh, Jason Clarke or Or, Michael Fassbender has
Jason
been cast.
Momoa.
Yeah, Jason Momoa. Jack Black has been casted as Dr.
Black.
They're not going to have Jack Black just come out on the stage.
Jason Statham.
Yeah.
It should be Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh, dude, Jason Statham would be a good Dr. Doom.
That's what I think. He's quit doing his working guy, beekeeper.
Yeah, stop working with David Ayers and just go work on a Marvel movie. You do a lot better than those.
Yeah.
And those, I haven't seen Working Man. I saw The Beekeeper. It's just awful, dude. It's just so bad. And I hate people defending these movies, being like, oh, we still need room for these, lighthearted secret agent movies. And I'm like, no, we don't anymore. We can really, and it's like, maybe we do. We can still write something better, though. Other than, this guy used to be, the formula, this guy used to be one of the top agents in the world, but now he lives a simple life working as a beekeeper.
Like,
as a handyman.
Everyone's just copying John Wick.
Yeah, literally. It's making John Wick dumber, too.
Yeah.
It's just dumbing down John Wick. Putting Jason Statham in it is just not a power move at all.
No, it's not.
It's stupid, honestly.
And that's why I'm upset about the new Avengers. It's like, what are we doing? We're putting a name. It's just a name.
Yeah.
At this point, like, I think the movie is going to struggle. I think people are going to go in super hyped up, and it's going to be I bet you the trailer is going to ruin the movie. I can guarantee now the trailer is going to ruin that 3.5 hour long scene.
Well, and it'll be long, too.
Yeah, we all know it's going to be long. Like, I'm not saying all the acting from each of the performances is going to be bad. I'm just saying that the story and the way that it's done is not going to be how it should. I think if you're going to go this route, you need an alternative villain. Someone maybe... I get... Oh, yeah. Like, Robert Downey Jr. just killed his antagonist performance in Oppenheimer. Like,
he conflicted antagonist.
Yeah, so he can play a bad guy. But no, he was the guy who saved the world in Endgame, and all of a sudden now he's trying to destroy it. It just does. I mean,
it's one of those things like letting sleeping dogs lie or quit beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. clearly worked for Marvel, and they know he can work. It's one of those, desperate grabs for attention. I mean, it's like narcissism at this point. It's throwing Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher in the new Star Wars movies because people understand that and people will go see them. Mm-hmm. And their storyline is continued. But bringing back Robert Downey Jr. to play a very, very polarizing role than Iron Man, I just don't see how people are going to be able to see through that. Like, we're going to see it, and I'm going to be like, it's just Tony Stark.
Yeah,
that's how much
unless
of a
they don't show his
character
face. Unless they don't show his
face,
which totally could happen.
Yeah,
but again, apparently Doctor
Doom. Like he's a human. He's a real guy.
He's supposed to be. He's supposed to be the strongest villain to ever exist.
Yeah.
In the Marvel comics.
Yeah.
Like ever written, he's apparently strong. Stronger than Thanos. Like stronger than. And there's I think like there was a post that I saw. It was like the top 10 strongest villains ever created, and there's Nimrod. There's Thanos. There's
the World Destroyer guy,
Molecule Man or Molecular Man. And then there's a few others in there, but then Doctor Doom's at the top. And again, it's gonna. I don't like they didn't. They're waiting to do another Endgame. Like it's because again they're gonna gather this big cast. They're gonna gather this big group of people all fighting against one guy. Mm-hmm. Like you can't repeat Endgame. Just with a different villain. There's no reason to do that. They're doing it for more money. That's why I'm kind of pissed that Disney bought Marvel. Because honestly, they've
Disney
just
bought so many things. I mean, they bought Lucasfilm to do Star Wars and Indiana Jones. They bought Marvel to. I mean, they're the Ray Kroc of Marvel. Like Ray Kroc bought McDonald's and he made McDonald's very, very popular. That's what Disney has been able to do for sure. They have totally elongated the MCU. I can't believe we're still getting Indiana Jones movies. And I can't believe there's even discussion of another Star Wars trilogy after the disaster we had in the 2010s. Or the late 2010s. But the same with Marvel. I mean, there's only so much they can do now at this point. But there's still plenty of heroes out there. I mean, look at all of these villains you have that you haven't even touched yet. But similarly, you know, they have the Fantastic Four movie coming out this summer. Obviously, they're going to be in Doomsday.
Doomsday, yeah.
Which I can't even imagine, like, Pedro Pascal's time frame right now. He has, now that, of course, he's filmed all of this. Fantastic Mr. Four coming out this summer. He has The Last of Us coming out on April 13th in like 2 weeks, 10 days, you know. And then he's gonna, and now he has to start filming for Doomsday. I would assume if Doctor Strange is a Fantastic Four villain, I would assume the Fantastic Four are going to be there, especially if they have a movie coming out.
Yeah.
Which leads me to wonder who they're going to fight in this movie.
Yeah. Dude,
and on the other hand, you have Superman coming out too. So the superhero genre is in full swing right now, for sure.
It really is.
But Pedro Pascal has got to be swamped. He's got to do press for The Last of Us. He's got to do a premiere for The Last of Us. He's going to have to do a lot of press for Fantastic Mr. Four on top of premieres. Many premieres.
They'll probably do a season 3 of The Last of Us.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, you know, I would think, you know, pray they make another game. That would be awesome. But yeah, if The Last of Us is successful, they're going to keep it going, I would assume. No reason not to. But he's got to do all of that while he's filming an MCU movie. And I don't know what the filming like was for Fantastic Mr. Four. The constraints when you're working under the Russo brothers, and I think they're the ones directing it, I mean, there is a lot going on there that you're not normally used to on a film set. The amount of CGI, the amount of actors you're working with that are so, like, veteran of the MCU filming, you have to get used to that. You have to get used to these weird traditions that they have, all while you're promoting 3 different things. I mean, it's crazy that they're able to make a time frame like that and get investors to be like, oh yeah, we have total faith. Pedro Pascal's not going to be busy at all. Yeah.
And
he can film.
And you even mentioned that the Wakandians are going to be in this, and we don't even have the Black Panther anymore. We don't. Like,
no, rest in peace. But
like, literally, rest in peace. Like, he's gone. He's not like, without him. It's like they are, like, I get it. Like,
they have to.
Like, I get it. They have to include it.
Yeah.
But like, that's half the battle. That's half the guy. With including the Wakandians. Like, it's, I don't know. That part upsets me alone. Like, is Florence Pugh going to be in Doomsday? Is that what this? Because there's a new.
Oh, I haven't even heard if the Thunderbolts are in it.
Because, like, we don't know, because that's a whole spin-off that's happening
and I've heard Thunderbolts is horrible.
And that looks horrible. Yeah. Like, I don't even want to deal with that.
I like Florence Pugh. I like watching her. She's great, but she's sinking to a Marvel low too, you know? I mean, it's a very convincing check that they give you.
Yeah.
And I really struggle when these actors like Benedict Cumberbatch are so defending of, like, the basically immortalizing yourself as a Marvel character, to where it really hurts a lot of your career. And that's just history. Look at Tom Hardy, dude. Started doing Venom. He's not getting anything right now. I haven't seen him in anything.
He is doing, I think, Mobland. I think that's... I think it's on Paramount.
Yeah.
It's a Paramount production. That I do want to see. Yeah. That's the only thing I've seen him in recently, but I think that's just about to come out.
And it's like Oscar caliber acting.
Yeah, you know, I don't know how this movie's going to do.
Yeah, we've been pushing this guy to win an Oscar since before The Revenant.
Yeah.
And I really wanted him to win for The Revenant. I thought, this might be a hot take, I thought he was better than Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, I felt like he had more lines.
Yeah, obviously he had more lines. He's not just crawling around grunting. Leonardo DiCaprio eats buffalo heart and eats a raw fish right out of the river, and give him an Oscar.
Well, it's because he got snubbed.
Yeah, that was the start of Oscar bait for me, at least. That's where I started seeing, like, oh, these actors are doing something outrageous, or so, like, I mean, I guess you could say Heath Ledger, because of the method acting he took to get into that.
It is inspiring. It really is.
It's inspiring. Yeah, and I mean, Adrian Brody, from what I know, he just showed up and started acting. It's something he's done before. But like Timothée Chalamet or any of the rock star biopics since Bohemian Rhapsody. It's just it's Oscar fuel, you know. It's this person played Freddie Mercury or Elvis Presley or Bob Dylan so well that they deserve an Oscar. Do you know how many Elvis impersonators there are on Hollywood Boulevard, dude? I mean, so many people can play Elvis right now. You need stamina. You need the ability to do it on camera without getting, shy or introverted or anything. So it is a lot. I'm not saying it's easy, but is the 2020s and the late 2010s going to be known for just giving it to the rock stars? Mm-hmm. Or Brendan Fraser winning, It was like a middle finger to the rock stars.
It was a comeback.
Rock star biopics and Brendan Fraser winning an Oscar, which he never deserved before. I mean, he's never really been an Oscar level actor, I felt like, but he was my childhood for sure.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and it was a complete comeback. Yeah. It really was.
And, it was a woke movie. It was so depressing.
And the way that movie starts off is unbelievable.
I remember you watching that for the first time, and you texted me. I was like, at the very first scene, which if you've seen it, you'll know. And I'm like, yeah. That's kind of how the movie is.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Yeah, just wait till he opens the fridge, though. It's even more disgusting.
Jeez, man.
But I mean, it's we're living in a very uncertain time with movies in general. It's very untelling who's going to win anything or whether movies are going to be good. I mean, Minecraft movie came out and everybody collectively hates that movie, I would say.
The non-Minecraft fan base.
Yeah. And
all agree. If you look at that Letterboxd, I'll throw the image up of the spread of Letterboxd ratings. There's just this tower of 5 stars, and then there's the actual critics.
Yeah. It's a very steady wave between 1 and maybe 3. And then nobody's giving this movie 4 because that doesn't make any sense. But
nobody's giving it 4.5. I think it literally,
because they're like, it was really good other than this part. I would give this movie 4.5 or 5 stars, but it didn't have this. No, people that gave it 5 stars. They've seen all the Instagram, TikTok brain rot, and they were in a theater that celebrated that. Go on Instagram Reels. You'll see theater reactions of Jack Black saying chicken jockey, and everybody's clapping like Captain America just said Avengers Assemble. Dude, it's crazy. I saw someone say that they haven't seen this kind of theater reaction since Endgame. I'm like, wow, the comparison on that.
That's insane.
One of the craziest franchises for people ever. One of the highest grossing franchises ever. And then a Minecraft movie is next.
God.
It doesn't make any sense to me, but it's been a tough year for movies so far. I mean, we're only 3 months in, but we've had some box office bombs this year.
Bombs.
The one Disney movie that was supposed to do good did horrible. Not only did it do horrible in the box office, it is horrible.
It's not even a good movie.
It's not good.
Half of the movie's the trailer.
Yeah. The Marvel movie that's come out. Yeah, I mean, most of the movies in the trailer. Again, the same with the Marvel movie this year, Captain America, Brave New World. Horrible in the box office, dude. This is all in relation to what the budget was or something. I mean, Snow White still made, I would say at this point, upwards of $90 million.
Yeah.
But they probably had a $250 million budget for that.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy, too, dude.
Yeah.
$250 million right now.
For a real-life Snow White, where they changed the story and where the main actress is a total bitch. And all she does is talk about herself and thinks that she deserves all this and all that. And she tries to act woke when in reality she's just an attention whore.
She's 23. She doesn't know anything.
No.
And I think a lot of the hate she's getting right now, because we're going to look back in 50 years and realize Snow White is such an interesting movie to study. If you're trying to make a box office blockbuster or you want to take a course on marketing, Snow White's going to be a prime example of what not to do for a movie. Don't hire somebody or make it abundantly clear to this person in their contract when you are in the time frame of promoting this movie, you cannot be controversial at fucking all. Now, yeah, you might say like, oh, well, you shouldn't limit anybody's speech. This is a company that has just banked upwards of $250 million on this thing.
More money than anyone, let's say not anyone, let's say 97% of people will ever see in their entire life. Ever.
Even Rachel Zegler still, I mean, it's small compared to other people. She's still young. She made $2 million off of this movie, dude. And she will make, the thing is, she will make $2 million regardless. That movie could make $5 in the box office. She's still making $2 million. Gal Gadot made $15 million. And Gal Gadot sucks. We all know that. But, you know, she's not saying anything about Israel. We know she's from Israel. She has spoken about that before. Rachel Zegler's out here just like, I don't care what anybody thinks of me, blah, 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 blah. And then she comments under that, oh, and also, as always, free Palestine. It's like, shut up, dude. There's a Disney representative coming to your apartment in New York City, and you probably live on Times Square.
Yeah.
$2 million off a stupid fucking movie, telling you to shut up. Literally, that happened too.
Yeah.
Somebody from Disney, one of the producer's sons or whatever, went over and was like, you need to stop this.
Yeah.
You are under contract. You are risking jobs for everybody that's worked on this movie. You're risking it all because of your stupid beliefs, stupid personal beliefs at 23 years old when you were supposed to be playing Snow White, dude.
It's not.
This isn't 4 months.
It's not a political party. This is You were supposed to be promoting a movie that you were in, and with, again, zero controversy towards anything. Just promote the fucking movie.
The movie would do so much better if there wasn't this controversy that's been around for a year before it, dude. Rachel Zegler speaking at the SAGA protests, her being on camera, her complaining about how outdated the most original Disney animation movie ever is, and how, oh, well, Snow White's going to be different this time. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see it knowing it's going to be different, dude.
No.
Why even name it Snow White if it's going to be different than Snow White? What do you expect? What do you expect people to do to you after that? People are going to zoom in on your back hairs and post them online and make fun of you for it. People are not going to go see this movie, or people are going to go see this movie and not tell anybody to go see this movie because of how much they hate Rachel Zegler.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. Any actor in Hollywood will tell you the exact same thing. Don't spread your personal beliefs while you're promoting a movie.
No. Save it for your own time. Save it for after the box office.
Because the thing is, nobody gives a shit regardless.
At the end of the day, dude, yeah, exactly. Nobody cares.
They want to know what you think of the movie.
Not what you care about who's doing what somewhere else in the world.
Or such a touchy subject.
Yeah, it's like, dude. God, like, stop. Like,
I won't even bring up Palestine or Israel at my job, and I work remote, dude.
Yeah.
I could get fired for that. I can't imagine risking $250 million on a movie just because I wanted to say free Palestine. You never been to Palestine. You don't know what it,
Just keep...
Not to get political.
Yeah. Again, keeping politics out of the movie world. Like, we're only bringing it up just to defend our own beliefs in recent filmmaking and actors and actresses that are just doing the wrong things in Hollywood. There's no reason to be doing that. We need to stick to the core beliefs of filmmaking. Literally, like, promote your movie, make a good movie, and if it's a shit movie, pass on the paycheck.
Yeah, and learn from it. Dude.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't make... I read something 20 minutes before we started filming. Disney is reportedly in talks of not doing any more live-action remakes. And they have Tangled coming out next year. And How to Train Your Dragon coming... Well, that's DreamWorks, but it's all the same thing. You know. How to Train Your Dragon's coming out next year. And, you know, that'll be interesting for people. I don't think any of the actors in that movie are going to be in the spotlight talking about free Palestine or whatever, but Tangled is supposed to be the next big one, and they're apparently pausing that. I would hope indefinitely at this point. That we said it before. This is a very big moment for Disney to wake up and be like, this isn't working. We can't trust anybody that's going to be on our movie, even if they're the biggest star in the world right now at 23 years old. We can't trust anybody to be on our movie. Or we can't trust these up-and-coming actors because we don't know what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Everyone's
woke.
Yeah.
Everyone has something to say now that they have a camera
Yeah.
and a microphone. They're like, oh, I can get people behind what I want.
Yeah.
I can spread whatever I want. No.
Yeah.
Do the job. Show up, work, act, get the fuck off set, and shut up.
That makes perfect sense, dude. Like, that should be how it is. And
what do you think the directors do all day?
He wants you to show up and he wants to film it. He doesn't care about your political beliefs or where you're from.
He didn't hire you because of what you believe. He hired you because he thought you could do the job.
Yeah. And, I mean, there's things to consider with DEI hiring and everything. And, I mean, we have Severus Snape being played by a black person, which, you could either be really upset by that, you could be really happy by that, you could not give a fuck about it at all.
Personally, we don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck, dude. I mean, he can be whatever he wants.
As long as he does a good job, I don't care.
If he's a good actor and he plays a good performance, sure, dude.
Who gives a shit?
I think race swapping is a real situation, and if it's historical, you should keep it historical because it totally distracts the immersion of it. Are we going to make Shaka Zulu from the Zulu Empire white? No, because that's not fucking historical, dude. I would be taken out of the story from it.
Yeah.
But, there's some real consideration for Disney right now to take a step back, to really think about what they've been doing. Has this been working? It hasn't been working for 8 years now, so I don't know why it's taken them this long to really figure it out, but I think Snow White is such a monumental piece in cinematic history. I mean, this is the moment I think Disney is going to realize we fucked up.
Yeah,
we've done something rough with what we've been doing, and when you have a certain political administration going on right now with swinging things. You have trends in Hollywood that are happening. You have homes in LA that are burning, and everybody's moving out of LA. There is such a shift in ideals right now for the entertainment industry as a whole. We have an experiment coming out with Avengers Doomsday. Disney just had their experiment with Snow White that failed drastically, and all through the shadows and everything, through all of this chaos, we have a Minecraft movie, dude. We have a Minecraft, and I don't even know what the box office is looking like.
It's probably going to be decent.
I bet the Minecraft movie might make more than fucking Snow White.
It's definitely going to make more than Snow White. It'll definitely make more than Captain America.
Yeah, and it is. People love it, dude. People are going because this is a movie. You go to the theater, you get a bucket of popcorn, you get an icy. You go sit there with a bunch of other people that just want to see a movie. It's not like Jason Statham making the same exact movie every time. Because if they made a Minecraft movie 4 different times as the exact same movie, that's not just going to see a movie. That's laziness to rip from the American pocket, There's so much controversy going around with Snow White, and it's such an interesting topic, and it's something that will be in the textbooks just because of all of the press and the promotion that movies had or lack thereof it. Rachel Zegler's personal beliefs, I'm glad she has them. I'm glad she's an open thinker.
Everyone's entitled to their own beliefs.
Everyone is entitled, but when you are when you are gambling on this kind of budget, on this amount of money, you could film Napoleon Dynamite and you could say whatever you want making that movie. Because nobody cares already, dude. It's going to get a cult following. It's unbelievable that Disney has gone this long without realizing it, especially with the rise of these actors that have an opinion. Look at Timothée or Tom Holland. Neither of them say anything.
No.
Because it hurts image. It hurts the image of the movie they're associated with, and it costs people jobs.
It does.
It costs a company a lot of money, too.
And you will not get rehired, and people won't hire you anymore if they know that you're going to do this.
It would be hilarious if Rachel Zegler ever did a movie again.
Dude, if she just
or a Disney movie.
Dude,
yeah.
I can almost guarantee Rachel Zegler will never do another Disney movie.
Never.
I don't think she will.
They will ever associate with her.
She ruined it. And I don't think she will get hired for the next I will say the next 2 to 3 years, we will not see a peep.
She's going to be going.
I bet you anything that she had upcoming, I bet you they already booted her off. Or
are in talks of doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, Y2K came out. That movie was horrible, apparently. I never saw it, but apparently it was horrible. That was supposed to be her A24 leap. Because she's known for fucking West Side Story and that new Hunger Games movie. I never saw Hunger Games. I saw West Side Story, and she's fine. She's not a horrible actress by any means.
No, that's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
We're saying the outside of acting.
It's the entitlement, you know.
The Kanye
the
of Hollywood.
Yeah, Rachel Zegler is the Kanye of Hollywood. Absolutely, dude. Yeah. She's corrupting herself. She's doing it to herself. If she wants to stand by her beliefs and not bow down to anybody, then get the fuck out of Hollywood, dude. Nobody wants you here for that. Especially when you're in a Jewish-run industry. Can't deny that.
Yeah.
You can't just do that. Go protest or something. Go to a stage. Yeah. Go do this when you're not 23. First of all, when you've already had an opinion,
you've had an actual career, when you've actually gotten yourself an establishing foundation of respect from other people, not just your first big break in Disney, and then you go ahead and ruin it because you want to spread your opinion, you want to spread your belief on something that has nothing to do with the fucking movie.
Right. Listen to me, everybody. I have the right opinion. I'm so young, but I'm also a great actor. You're going to pay a ticket to go see me.
Oh, and by the way...
She literally said that, too.
I deserve to get paid every hour.
It was like, I deserve to... She went on a cocaine tangent. It was like, I deserve to get paid every hour that this movie is streamed online. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's just pay Rockstar... $70 every hour. We want to play Grand Theft Auto, right? Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Shut the fuck up!
Shut up, dude. Yeah. And it's first of all, what do you think? It's not even about getting overpaid. It's just about getting paid in general. That's what the whole strike was about, I felt like. I was lucky enough to be in LA when that was happening. I got to go up to some of the picket lines. I didn't talk to anybody, but I was there. I was obviously there looking for people, and I wanted to ask them.
And they're like, here's a sign.
Yeah, or Bob Odenkirk was there a lot. I would love to go up to him and just be like, what do you think's going on here, dude?
How do you feel?
Pleasure to meet you, but I work for no news agency. I just got a microphone.
Yeah.
But no, I was outside. I was in Warner Brothers, and it was going on right outside that. And they had to cancel part of the tour because part of the tour went to the area that they were protesting. And obviously they don't want people to see that. If you went to LA between June of 2023 and fucking March of 2024, you were going to see a lot of picket. And I went there in October of 2023. There was a lot of people protesting, which I think they should have done. They should be, fighting for fair wages and fighting for equal treatment in the workplace, anywhere. And then all of a sudden, there's this goblin that comes out of nowhere because she got nominated for West Side Story, and she's like, if I'm gonna dress up as a Disney princess, I deserve to be paid every hour that it is streamed online. You know how many people would love to dress up as a Disney princess every day and get paid a lot for it? Shut up.
I would.
Yeah.
I
would do that, dude. I don't care.
I don't care.
I would push the agenda if it meant I got paid $2 million.
Yeah, but I'm gonna promote the movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the movie. I'm gonna attach myself to the movie, and then I'm gonna promote the movie. I'm not gonna totally detach and be like, oh yeah, Snow White would be like free Palestine. But we don't fucking know. Nobody cares. Nobody knows.
Snow White's not doing that because Palestine doesn't exist.
Snow White doesn't have an iPhone. Yeah.
You know what she is? She's fucking asleep.
Yeah.
You know
she's
what?
She's asleep. She's eating apples. She's working with a bunch of dwarves, dude.
Shut the fuck up. God damn it. Well,
it's a very significant moment in history right now. You ready for the textbooks?
Yeah. So enough on our rant and enough yelling at Rachel Zegler and Disney. We want to give a total transition, and we want to give our man Val Kilmer.
Mr. Val, fly high, Iceman.
We want to give him a little bit of respect.
Yes.
We want to have a moment for him. He was very crucial to our childhood.
Yeah.
We grew up on his movies. One of our favorite movies together, especially Ryan's, is The Doors.
Jim Morrison is one of the most iconic figures in rock and roll, I think, and Val Kilmer settled that for me. Val Kilmer's performance as Jim Morrison is one of the most underrated performances I've ever seen. It's one of the best performances I've ever seen. There's no rock star biopic today that comes close to Jim Morrison.
I think he paved a way for actors and gave them an example of, if you're going to play a rock star, if you're going to try and live this lifestyle on camera, this is how you do it.
You need to go all in.
This is how you do it.
Yeah.
You pull the Heath Ledger. You pull the Val Kilmer.
You essentially get sucked into that role. You know, I mean, I don't know his whole method behind it. I remember an interview when he was promoting The Doors, not saying anything about any sort of conflict going on. He said, drank that carrot juice, smoked a lot of cigarettes, but I didn't succumb to that lifestyle, which was really hard, which I imagine is impossible, especially when you want to play a drug head like Jim Morrison. I'm sure Val Kilmer experimented a lot in his life. I'm sure he understood, but his dedication to someone like that without thinking, oh, this is going to be my Oscar grab. He was still fairly young in the movie world in 1990, I think, when The Doors was. Obviously, he had Top Gun, which we're going to talk about for sure, but I feel like Jim Morrison was his break into being the center stage.
Yeah, at least showing the audience and producers like, hey, I can do this.
Yes, I'm actually very good.
Yeah.
And he has always been a very good actor.
Yeah.
He is probably my favorite movie that he's in, not necessarily because of Val Kilmer, but I mean, Val Kilmer is still an integral part of that movie. Man.
Yeah.
He's a side character because Al Pacino and Robert De Niro are in the movie. That's all. That's why he's such a side character, because he's not either of them. His character is so much more emotionally invested in something going on than either of them. And that's a point in the movie, too. Robert De Niro and Al Pacino are both like, yeah, I'd drop my woman at a moment's notice. Val Kilmer's the one that's like, the sun rises and sets with her, man. He was the one that we actually cared about, but he still did everything he did in that movie. And I mean, I want to say Val Kilmer was a better actor than either of them in that movie.
I would say, personally, I would.
Top Gun is, both of them are just goons in that movie.
One of the most iconic movies of all time. Especially, and I really like how they brought him back in Top Gun Maverick. But again, it really does. It's horrible to, see him in that condition where he was basically unable to talk at all. In the way that he definitely mustered up the few lines he did have, basically one line he does have, it really makes that scene so much more impactful, and really, again, brings his character a lot more significance to the Top Gun world.
Yeah. And respect for him, too.
Yeah, and really, in respect to step back,
service,
to step back on screen again. And they knew, they're like, all right, we're going to figure out a way to have him in this movie.
Right.
And if he's not in this movie, it's not going to feel like Top Gun again.
Right, no. And it's fan service. It's like mending up the subject matter with Maverick and Ice, even though they do make up in the first one fairly frugally, but having him in there, it's fan service, right? People know Top Gun through Iceman a lot. He's a very prominent picture in that movie. And putting him in there, it shows Maverick didn't disregard or neglect Ice after the events of the first movie. They still stayed there together. But Tombstone, if you haven't seen Tombstone, go see Tombstone. That is Doc Holliday is a crazy character in general. And the way Val Kilmer does it, the discomfort with the I think it's tuberculosis he has in the movie. He's sweating the whole movie. He's pale as can be, and he is hilarious. He has some of the most iconic lines, not through spaghetti westerns, but 90s westerns, especially during the Kurt Russell days, where Kurt Russell's kind of becoming this wiser guy. He's Wyatt Earp in Tombstone, you know. Val Kilmer, his prominence in the 90s and 2000s, Tombstone is a cornerstone of that success he's had. I think back to, have you seen his documentary that A24 did?
I don't think so.
No. If you haven't seen that, I definitely recommend it. I had forgotten, too. He did Broadway. I think it was Broadway. It was Broadway or slightly off Broadway. I forget the title, but he played Mark Twain. And it was sort of like a retrospect on American culture, I would say, because I've watched it just online. And the level of knowledge Val Kilmer had of the climate in the world, and especially America, through the eyes of Mark Twain is incredible. That is pure genius, dude. That is not something that you can just take for granted or relate to an actor that is very well known because they were in a lot, right? Mm-hmm. It was their unique personality, their unique attention to their craft, whatever sort of method they wanted to use for acting. Val Kilmer had one of the most unique I have ever seen. That I grew up with. Yeah. And I didn't see Heat till I was 18, you know. I knew Val Kilmer was in that movie. I saw The Doors maybe when I was like 12 or something.
Well, we rewatched that I think a couple times in college too.
I'm trying to show Elliot right now, you know.
It's one of the better like, you know, rock star biopics out there.
It's not like it's this crazy good movie or anything. I mean, it's Oliver Stone, so take that as you will. He also wrote Scarface, so take that as you will too. But it's this wild unraveling of a guy's life, as historically accurate or as inaccurate as it is. But the craziness of Jim Morrison could only have been brought out by Val Kilmer. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine somebody else taking on that level of personality that Val Kilmer did towards the Doors. And that shows that Val Kilmer loved the Doors, which makes me love him even more. Yeah. Because I love the Doors. Great. But Val Kilmer, I hope you're flying high. I hope you're watching this from heaven, because you're definitely up there. You were an inspiration for so many people. And yeah, we miss him.
We do. We always will. Yeah. If you don't know who Val Kilmer is, look him up. Watch his movies.
Stop watching us. Go watch him.
Go watch him. He's amazing. And he will go down in history as definitely one of the best actors to ever exist.
Yeah. One of the most, you know, personality actors. Mm-hmm. And go watch the documentary. A24 did a great documentary about him. Mm-hmm. You learn a lot, and it's much more sad now, just because we all knew his time was coming. Because, you know, he hasn't been able to speak for quite a while. He tried to keep it a secret, but it was clear. And he smoked a lot of cigarettes. He smoked a lot of cigarettes.
Take that into mind.
Yeah. So use it as an anti-cigarette ad too.
But if you guys made it this far, we very much appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. We are Cinemadix.
Yeah.
And I'm Nick.
And I'm Ryan.
And we'll see you guys next week, hopefully. You know.
Yeah. Talk a little more about Minecraft movie. I know everybody's psyched for that.
Yeah, we'll bring that back up again,
and we'll catch up on some Doomsday updates and Tron too.
Tron,
yeah,
yep. Check out our Instagram.
Trailer came out today.
Dropping a trailer. We'll talk about one battle after another with Leo. Paul Thomas Anderson movie coming out.
Yeah,
and I want to talk a little bit more about the Odyssey, and I'm kind of upset about the publicity going around.
I was just about to say that too.
So.
We'll have some more updates then.
We'll have some more updates for you guys. Mm-hmm. But see you next week.
See you guys.